This is the story of a simple man, his family, and the lengths he's gone to remain hidden. His name is Wallace Robert Finnegan Jr., but you may know him as Wally. This is the story of Wally, where he comes from, who he is, and what he's doing now. This film hopes to answer the biggest question of our time: where is Wally?
Wally was such a sweet boy. He had such a sense of adventure. He was my little treasure.
He was a good kid. Didn't cry much. Did well enough in school.
Yes, Wally was an extremely bright child. Very respectful, very hardworking, quiet. My only concern was the way he interacted with others. You see, he hid quite a lot.
Yes, well, we did get some complaints from the teachers. He would hide through certain parts of class. He never much liked math.
Didn't have a knack for numbers.
Oh, but the neighborhood kids loved playing hide-and-go-seek with him.
He was a good hider. A damn good hider.
Wally did very well in primary school. As a young child, he was mostly interested in subjects such as geography and social studies, and that didn't change much as he grew older.
This is Wally's first trip to the beach. He must have been about 2 years old, I think. He hid himself in the sand. We couldn't find him for hours.
Alice worried that he'd been drowned or kidnapped or something. But I knew he was just hiding.
This boy was very special. We knew this hiding. It was a gift. I think he got it from his great Aunt Madge.
No, I think it might have been from my Uncle Robert. He was great at evasion tactics.
Of course, honey.
Wally's teenage years brought about the usual sort of rebellion. Though he continued to be an excellent student, he frequently skipped out on classes and would disappear for days at a time.
So this is Wally's old room. You can tell that he dreamed of traveling. Even as a teen, he would just leave a note saying he'd be back soon and he'd be gone for days on some excursion. We'd grounded him, of course, but never really made any difference.
Yeah, he was a pretty strange guy. He'd leave for days, miss a bunch of classes, and then come back and ace all his exams, of course.
Where did he go?
I'm not sure. Sometimes he'd just go by to neighboring villages. He'd hitchhike for days. I went with him once.
Oh yeah? How was that?
We went to middle of nowhere Scotland, and he took pictures of everything. I mean, the most mundane tasks, and he had to take pictures of them. Took his books with him everywhere he went too, and left them all over the place. I mean, Jesus, who does that?
Wallace Finnegan. Yeah, I had him in class once. He was a real bright kid, but the classroom environment didn't seem right for him. As well as he did while he was here, he never graduated. He just disappeared one day in his second year. It was the weirdest thing.
Yes, he was always well known for disappearing. We stopped bothering the police when he was about 8 or 9, would you say, Wallace?
Must have been 9, I think.
He would always come home, though. Even if he didn't leave a note, he would come home.
It took us 2 months to realize he was gone this time.
We had no idea. I mean, he didn't even take much of his stuff, just his book bag, a camera, and a few books. How could we have known he wasn't coming home?
Where's Wally began as the slogan for the Finnegan search for Wally, but soon it turned into a worldwide phenomena. Over time, the serious task of searching for a family's only child turned into a game of finding a character identified by his red stripes and hat.
We didn't know how to take it at first. We were hurt by the lack of respect shown. We just wanted our son home, safe.
But you know, once the media got hold of it, there was no stopping it. They just wanted to profit off of him.
And we thought it would help, get some extra attention. And for a while, people were calling, saying they'd seen him in US, Brazil, Argentina.
Spain, Italy, Morocco. But you know, once they started releasing the books, the focus turned to finding this little cartoon character instead of searching for our son.
Before we began this film, we relaunched the search for the real Wally. Much like the Finnegans, in their original attempt to find their son, we received tips from all over the world. Our anonymous sources have led us to this location. Let's see if we found the real Wally. We waited a few minutes. It seemed that no one was home. We were just about to abandon hope when...
Shit.
After a quick chat and agreeing not to disclose his current location, Wally agreed to give us an exclusive interview to clear things up once and for all.
So, I just really wanted to travel. That's all I really wanted to do because, for example, university wasn't really a thing for me. Sorry, I didn't want it. I went there and sitting there listening to a lecture for, I don't know, an hour or something wasn't really for me, so I just left and somehow I ended up in Kenya all of a sudden and yeah, I didn't really have the money to go back, but it was actually kind of fun, so I wanted to stay there and I tried helping people. I volunteered and started to build like schools or wells, and yeah, so I just stayed. My father never really approved of all my traveling, didn't think I was being serious about my future, so I don't know. I didn't want to disappoint them, so I left quietly. Didn't really realize that they had been searching for me until sometime after. I was in Belgium at the time, and someone recognized me on the street.
How was that?
Absolutely bizarre. I did some research and I saw all the books and the cartoons, the magazines, the video games, and once I was aware, it was like madness. I started to notice the looks I got, the pictures taken. I never asked to be a celebrity, but then almost overnight, I just like to be left alone. I tried to change who I am. I grew a mustache, I grew a beard, and yeah, there's only so much I can do. I mean, all I really want to do is live alone, travel the globe, do some good in the world, It becomes a little difficult when all they see is some cartoon. It's hard to be taken seriously. I'm a real person, same as anybody else.
Your parents still worry, I've spoken to them recently. I'm sure they'd love to see you.
Yeah, parents, they always worry. When don't they worry? I send postcards every now and then, but I think I'm not ready to go home yet. I don't want to stay in one place yet. So, if I would go home, my mother might lock me in my room or something. You never know.
You say you want to be left alone. Do you ever think that if you just stopped hiding, you just lived your life out in the open, that the great mystery might just stop?
Well, if I would have stopped earlier, I might have, but I think now it's too late because now all these books and all these movies and stuff, it all exists, and now the fans, the people would know where to find me, and yeah, that'd be quite annoying.
What about your clothes?
What about my clothes?
Well, they're quite recognizable. Did you ever think of changing them?
Well, yeah, I considered it. I tried other stuff, but I mean, I just really like the clothes and I really like the red stripes. I've worn them all of my life, so they're a part of me basically, and they're like traveling, they're like hiding. I just want to wear them. Well, you know, a zebra can't change its stripes, and neither can I. So.
Wally agreed to continue our interview the following day. When we returned, there was no answer. His landlord told us that he had left early that morning, with no explanation. The search for Wally continues to this day.
I just want to know he's all right. It hurts to know that he's out there all alone and I'm not out there with him and there's people ogling him and making a character out of him. I just miss my sweetheart so much and I'd give anything to see him one more time.
We had big dreams for our son. A good career, a wife, grandkids. But we don't care what he chooses to do anymore. We just want him home safe.
If Wally was watching this right now, what would you say?
I'd tell him to come home. Stop making his mother worry. We just want to see him home safe.
We love you and miss you, sweetheart. Please just stay safe.
To this day, the exact location of Wally is unknown. The Where's Wally franchise continues its circulation of puzzles, books, and other merchandise. He's known all across the world by different names: Waldo, Walter, Gile, Charlie, Jura. But here, two parents are still just waiting for their little boy, their little Wallace Finnegan Jr., to come home.
Hit it. Where's Wally? Where's Wally? Did you say him? Where's Wally?